Friends, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I am Vicky and you're with Grammy in the Kitchen. Today I realized I didn't have no more pork barbecue on my shelves, so I went ahead and took out 3 of the shoulders and I let them sit out on the counter during the day. At night I stuck them in the freezer, and now we're going to go ahead and get started cooking these. So if that's something you're interested in, how to can pork barbecue with a homemade barbecue sauce, let's get started. Aprons on. Now if you remember, we bought 6 pork butts when they were on sale back in October. 3 I had cooked at that time, and in 3 I stuck in the freezer. So today we're going to cook those 3. Now I have no more left in the freezer, so I need to keep my eyes out for a sale so I can stock up the freezer again. By my calculations, I think we go through about 9 a year, because in 2022 of April I had bought 3 shoulders, not on sale, never will I do that again, and I cooked those and I put them in jars, stuck them on the shelf. And then when I caught them on sale in October, I bought 6 of them. 3 I cooked at that time, and 3 I'm cooking today. So by my calculations, every 4 months I'm cooking 3 pork butts or shoulders, and it seems to be going to last us a year. So I need to keep my eye out for when there's a sale and make sure I get 9 this time, because 9 will carry me for a year, and I'll still do 3 at a time, 3 times a year. So let's get started, guys. I have the countertop roaster right there that I'm just going to let them roast all day in there until they fall off the bone tender. Okay, we have a total of a little bit over 25 pounds of pork butt right here. I am going to turn this on to 300. Just going to put some salt in here. I'm not going to do any kind of crazy seasoning or anything, just salt and pepper for right now. Putting 4 cups of water in there. I have it sitting on 300. It's probably going to take all day. Ah, look, the lid does fit. And when I'm ready to take this pork off of the bones, we'll be right back. So the 3 pork butts took about 5 hours to cook, and then I'll let it cool down, stuck them in a bowl, and they're actually in the refrigerator. We still need to tear those apart. I did wash the lining of this pan, and now we're going to go ahead and get started on the ketchup to make the barbecue sauce. After we make the ketchup, we're just going to make the barbecue sauce in here. Then we're going to put the pork in here. So I'm putting 4 cans of tomato paste in here. We have 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. Got a cup of sugar, cup of water, four teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of mustard powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. That is ketchup right there. Now this is going to get hot and splatter, so we want to make sure we put the lid on it. And then once it cooks for about 40 minutes, then we're going to turn it into barbecue sauce. We're going to go ahead and start working on that pork roast done over here for right now. So here are the 3 pork butts. I cut one in half, so I have 1 1/2 in here and 1 1/2 in here. And then I reserved 2 quarts of the broth, the stock that it made. But this morning I took off all the fat that was on the top, and then I strained it, and I have, what do I have in here? I have 1 quart of pork fat. I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator. This is only when I need to loosen up the barbecue once I put everything together. Instead of just adding water. So I decided to put this in the refrigerator just to cool it off, make it a whole lot easier to break apart. Alright, so I'm just going to sit here and chop up these 3 pork butts, and then when we're ready to turn our ketchup into barbecue sauce, I'll bring it right back. So y'all just go do whatever you need to do, and I'll see you in a few. Alright, that is our ketchup. Now we're going to turn this into barbecue sauce. So for this barbecue sauce, it takes approximately 4 cups of ketchup, which I totally guesstimated. It takes 1 cup of mustard. I am using the stone ground mustard. It's 9 ounces, close enough to a cup. So we'll just work with that. And I saved these jars. These jars are actually what I use for my salt and pepper shakers, or my salt and pepper jars. We need a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 a cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of pepper, 1 1/2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and we're going to put 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And that is everything we're putting in here. So I'm going to let that cook for a bit. Then we're going to go ahead and add all of our pork in here. Turn it up to 150 and just let that simmer. Right now we're going to go ahead and add our cubed up pork. Alright, so we're just going to go in here and throw that homemade barbecue sauce in with this pork. Nothing like the best tools in the house, isn't it? Now we're going to hot pack the pork barbecue, which means the jars has to be hot, the contents has to be hot, and the canner has to be hot. So everything has to be hot before we can proceed. So I'm going to turn this up to 250 and just let that come back up to temperature. Periodically, we're going to go in here and stir this. Alright, I think we need to add a little bit of liquid to it. Broth we saved when we were cooking it in here. Just add a little fat to it. I'm going to turn this down. Ooh, that's cooking too fast. I'm going to add a quart of chicken stock. Just to loosen it up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's better. Alright, so I've had everything in this countertop roaster for about 2 hours. And we're up to 110 degrees. I do want it hotter than that, so I'm just going to let it continue to roast and cook. Yes, it's going to continue to cook in the canner, but I want hot contents going in hot jars, going into a hot canner. So I'm just going to leave it here for a little bit longer. I got the canner on the stove with the required amount of water with a little bit of distilled vinegar in there. It is heating up. It is hot now. The contents of our barbecue is hot and our jars are warm. So now we're going to go ahead and start taking all of this barbecue and put them in jars. Now we're going to go to an inch headspace. Just take it out as I need to get it at the inch headspace. I am debubbling it. I have a piece of paper towel right here in this bowl. I had some white vinegar. We're going to rub the edge. We want to make sure we degrease this so we get a beautiful seal on this. I have my 4 jars canning lids. And a canning ring going fingertip tight, and in the canner it goes. And I want to finish all of this and I'll bring you right back. Alright, so this is the last pint jar I have, but I got a lot of barbecue left. I'm going to go ahead and grab some half pint jars. So I'll be right back. Alright, so in the real world, we would have made sure we had enough pint jars, but we did not. So I had to bring out the half pint jars, which is okay. So when the husband just wants one sandwich, he can just have one sandwich. So it's okay. You're probably thinking to yourself, but Miss Grammy, that's a waste of lids. Yes, it is. In the real world, I would be using half pints for canning meat, but I got this and I need to put it in jars. Let me go ahead and get these all jarred up, and I'll bring you right back when we're ready to close up that canner. So I have 5 pints on the top, I have 9 pints underneath, and I have 7 half pints. I do have a little bit left in this bowl and this one jar that would not fit in there. That's okay. The husband can eat this for the next 2 days. And put the lid on and crank it down. I am going to have to get me some more pint jars, it looks like. Because last time we did our ugly chicken, we actually put those in pints, where before I had those in quarts. Doing a visual, make sure the gap is pretty even all the way around. Alright, cranking it down. Have it on medium heat. So we need to get the water boiling, get up to temperature, wait till steam comes out of this peck right here, and it's going to come out very forcefully. We want it to blow out steam very forcefully. Then we're going to time that for 10 minutes. Then we're going to put our weight on. For my altitude, I am at 10 pounds of pressure. And not sure if you can see it, but there's 10 pounds of pressure, 5, and 15. And once it gets up to 10 pounds of pressure, that's when our timer starts. Because we have pints and half pints in here, both of those will be timed at 75 minutes. So we need to pressure can this for 75 minutes. If you were doing quarts, you would do it at 90 minutes. But we're doing pints and half pints. So when we're ready to take these out, I'll bring you right back. So when I took the barbecue out of the canner yesterday, I let them cool 24 hours. I washed them, hot soapy water, because I did have some siphoning and it was icky on the outside. So I washed them, dried them, and I have them labeled barbecue 223, and this is now going to go on a pantry shelf. I ended up with 14 pints and 7 half pints because I ran out of pint jars. I did have 1 pint in the refrigerator that I just did not have room for, so the husband has to eat this within 7 days. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on the pantry shelves, but I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me while we made some pork butt that we found on sale, stuck it in the freezer, took it out, roasted it, chopped it up, made a ketchup, made a barbecue sauce, put everything in jars, and canned them for some shelf-stable pork barbecue. Thank you very much. And if you don't mind, can you go ahead and hit that like button? And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you part of the Grammy family. Until next time, you have a blessed day. Bye, friends.